everyone, my name is Antonia and this is PerryPictures. Today I stand in the shadow of much greatness as I play and illustrate my own round of Draw My BitLife, inspired by the queen of Draw My BitLife on YouTube, Lavendertowne. And I have links to her series of BitLife videos down in the description below, so if you enjoyed this video, there's far more for you to check out on her channel. In the spirit of randomization, I went with the first character the game auto-generated, and his name is Jasper Washington. His mom, Tara, is a travel agent, and his dad, Slim, is a Navy Petty Officer 2nd Class, which is the rank I was in the Navy. The family wouldn't be complete without their furry feline companion, Rita, but it's not Jasper's fate to be an only child. His baby brother, DeMarcus, is born just before Jasper enters elementary school and immediately contracts chickenpox. Fortunately for us, in the game, it can be cured, so we get him to the doctor and get that fixed right up in time for him to hang out with his pest pal, Rita, who is now an 8-year-old cat. A year later, at the ripe young age of 6, his PE teacher threatens him, which is completely unacceptable, and rather than take that abuse, he reports him to the principal and gets that teacher suspended. Booyah. I might have already given this one away, but after failing an impromptu eye exam, we quickly discover that Jasper needs glasses and do our very best to find him the most flattering pair at the optometrist office. His fur buddy Rita climbs into the engine area of a car and dies a horrendous death when the engine is turned on. R.I.P. Rita, that would break my heart too. The family mourned their loss, and in the first test of his moral character, at 9 years old, Jasper rejects an illicit text from one of his classmates. At the age of 10, he gets tonsillitis and decides to share his very first kiss with classmate Asia, and that is the beginning of a new chapter in Jasper's life. He and Asia continue to hold hands in the hallways and use the title boyfriend and girlfriend for the next 4 years. Still being the golden boy that he is, he refuses to skip class and loses some friends along the way, but his family bond is stronger than ever, and they take a vacation to Italy. He and Asia talk about the worst gifts ever gotten, but knowing what a sweetheart Jasper is, I'm sure he didn't have anything bad to say. He has his first side hustle as a pet sitter to make a little pocket change, and just as they enter high school, Asia decides to end their middle school courtship. Ciao. Losing yet another friend, Jasper dives headfirst into his studies and slumps into an anxiety-riddled depression. His friend tries to talk him into sneaking into somebody else's house, but Jasper convinces him to do something else a little less illegal. His sophomore year, he tries to lift his spirit by flirting with Hillary, the hot blonde in class, and before you know it, it was time to take his driver's test. He passed with flying colors, and his parents graciously give him a 4-year-old black Chrysler Pacifica. He heads to the salon for a makeover, and feeling a little more in control of his life, he then hits the books even harder. This game is really fun, and being completely honest with you, it's also addictive. I was able to get into flow state playing it, and it was much more enticing to go back and play a couple more lives than it was to continue drawing. The drawings are so hard, but they're really fun and rewarding. I love seeing the characters drawn out, and I enjoy converting the pixel avatars into my style, so it's well worth it. The class hottie Hillary asks Jasper if they can be friends, which pulls him out of his depression, but seeing that startling amount of crazy on her stats bar made me steer our precious potato clear of any relationship advances and keep him busy with a part-time job. In his senior year of high school, Jasper makes another friend named Ashia, and in the years to come, they would attend many concerts and activities together as they grow closer to one another. When Jasper graduates, he applies to college to get his communications degree, but gets denied for scholarship. Since his parents can't afford to pay for it, he takes out some student loans. And through all of this, he has stuck it out with that part-time job. Frustrated after getting passed up for a raise as a hotel bellhop, he gets into a feud with his little brother over which one of them their parents loves more. And to blow off some steam, he goes to a Keith Urban concert with Ashia, which he enjoyed almost as much as her. When he turns 20, his family falls into further disarray due to his parents' divorce, but Ashia is his rock, declaring them BFFs. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Ashia? Aja? If you know, let me know. Ever the music buff, he and his friends enjoy a chance encounter with a street performer. Jasper and Ashia didn't officially start dating until after their first year in college, but from there on out, it was Facebook official. Does anybody say that anymore? Facebook official? His little brother graduated from high school about the same time Jasper graduated from college with his degree in communications. He goes job seeking from there and applies to a few jobs where he feels his degree could be useful, such as marriage counseling, despite his lack of personal experience in marriage. But ultimately, he ends up employed as a mail courier, making $37,000 a year. Jasper takes a really bold step in asking Ashia to elope with him, but it turns out she's quite the old-fashioned kind of girl with hopes and dreams of a beautiful wedding. To make up for that snafu, he decides to get her a vase of orchids, which she does really enjoy, so that was a good play on his part. His brother DeMarcus graduates high school and enrolls in nursing school, and Ashia also graduates with a degree in engineering and starts working for Valley Airways. And only then did I realize that Jasper's stress meter was really high, because he was working both his full-time and still putting in hours as a bellhop at his part-time gig, so I finally had him resign from the hotel. Jasper gets a raise, but even more than that, he gets an invitation to join YouTube, and as a YouTuber myself, of course, I had to say yes. He heads to the barber for a shave before posting any videos to his new channel, and with his fresh new look, he decides to give this proposal another try. This time, he goes to the store first and gets a ring, purchasing a 24-karat gold, 1.4-karat sapphire engagement ring worth $7,000. We're getting closer to the moment in the drawing now, but let me just say that I'll double back twice to fix his hands before this image is complete. Bear with me, because I think in the end, it's well worth the wait. Jasper proposes to his girlfriend at a rock concert, since concerts are their special thing that they do together. And she said yes. I'm so proud of my little BitLife fiend. He's grown up and getting married, and it's all just so cute. I could cry. Jasper and his little brother DeMarcus make amends and are closer than ever, but adulthood starts to spiral downhill for Jasper from there. His trusty old Chrysler Pacifica breaks down on him, costing a pretty penny and putting off the wedding a little longer. He makes the mistake of trying to befriend his grumpy supervisor, who then asks him to work overtime without pay, which he turns down because, after all, time is money. Unfortunately, this ends up reflecting poorly on Jasper, even though she's the one who called him a wanker, which I think is so unprofessional. He briefly entertains a job recruiter, but when they ask him to become a porn star, he turned that down. Unfortunately, he wasn't faring any better as a mail courier, since his 5 years of loyalty were rewarded with termination. With $39,000 in the bank and no job at present, Ashia still demands that they get married because they've already been together for 6 years. And at 26 years old, neither of them are getting any younger. For $6,000, they get married at a family member's house and honeymoon in the Mediterranean at the Rock of Gibraltar, which to me sounds like a really good deal. I was a little surprised that as an engineer working for Valley Airways, she brought nothing into the marriage, but he didn't have much to offer at that time either, so I skipped the prenup. They are officially Mr. and Mrs. Washington now, and these bunions that I thought were inconsequential until they supposedly wrecked his career as a mail courier reappeared, so I sent him to the doctor to get that checked out. When the first doc was unsuccessful treating his feet, I decided to send him to a second doctor to get a second opinion, but unfortunately he too was unable to fix Jasper's issue, so I guess that's just something he's gonna have to suck it up. On his 27th birthday, he realizes he can't stay unemployed, and following in the footsteps of his father, he joins the military. Rather than go Navy, I sent him to the Coast Guard thinking it'll keep him relatively closer to home. And he must be a natural because right away he gets promoted to lieutenant junior grade. At 28 years old, Ashia stops taking birth control, which I assume means she wants to conceive, and would explain why they haven't yet. And at 29 years old, Jasper asks her if she'd like to buy a tiny house. He has $26,000 in the bank, and for $19,000, they're able to buy a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom tiny home, which I thought would be a nice asset for someone in the military who moves around, enabling them to take their home with them wherever they're stationed. But then on the cusp of age 30, he is deployed to pirate-riddled seas off Pakistan to clear a minefield. Jasper goes dutifully, and to his detriment, because despite sitting on this screen for a long time, I didn't understand the rules of Minesweep. So in answer to the question posed in this video's title, why do the good die young? Simply because, sadly for Jasper, I didn't read the directions to Minesweep. I think I get it now, so hopefully the next character I take into a minefield will come back out alive. But as of right now, R.I.P. Jasper Washington. It was fun while it lasted. Thank you for joining me on this Draw My BitLife journey. I hope you enjoyed the story and the art, and remember to subscribe if you'd like to see me make more.